Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badge.
The Air Canada hijab crisis continues to reverberate.
Angry and frustrated after being forced to remove her headscarf in public. Barry, a Muslim girl, says she was singled out by an Air Canada employee. Tonight, her family wants to make sure it doesn't happen again to anyone.
After the security check, an employee stopped her at the gate and told her to remove her headscarf so he could do an ID check.
At the gate, he said, "You're going to need to take that off." He just pointed at it. And I was confused at first. I was like, "What?" And he said, "That." And I said, "Oh, I can't." He said, "No, you have to."
Abdelrahman says a female employee took her into a corner, not a private room, where she removed her headscarf.
My first time, I didn't know. I was scared, like, be separated from my teammates. I didn't want to be late. I didn't want something to go wrong. So I was like, okay, fine.
In the early story, they didn't want anything, only change.
Abdelrahman's family says it is not interested in getting money from Air Canada, but it has asked the airline to donate money to shooting victims in El Paso. It's hoping some kind of financial consequence will get the airline's attention and lead to change.
But now that CAIR is officially involved, things have changed indeed.
The teenager's attorney says that she is willing to negotiate a settlement to avoid a legal fight. The demands include monetary damages for emotional distress, immediate policy changes, and cultural training for employees.
An important detail missing from the original report is that Fatima was not wearing a hijab in her passport photo.
On her flight to her first international competition, Fatima, who wasn't wearing a headscarf in her passport photo, was asked to remove her hijab by Air Canada staff at the boarding gate.
Her father, or perhaps even her sister, might have gotten her an updated passport. Her sister kicked this whole thing off on her Twitter page.
Her sister tweeted about the incident, asking Air Canada to explain.
I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody ever again, whether they're 12, whether they're older, it doesn't matter.
But also Sabrine likes the Muslim Brotherhood. Anti-America sentiments. And racism. She is an Islamic exhibitionist. She adores Ilhan Omar and Zara Billu. And what's this? She wanted to sue the airlines months ago.
Our concern is that a lot of Bay Area Muslims who are going to be flying either to Canada through Air Canada will face similar treatment if these policies and procedures aren't clarified, aren't rectified, and a sincere apology isn't given to the Abdelrahman family.
This was not religious discrimination. It was part of security procedures. Air Canada followed a standardized procedure. But CAIR wants to set policy regarding the hijab and ID photos. For example, in Illinois, CAIR is suing to allow women to take off their hijab after wearing it in their ID photo.
Some civil rights group says that an Illinois driver's license rule violates religious rights. The Chicago chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations filed a federal lawsuit challenging that rule. Now, the rule requires anyone wearing a religious head covering while taking a driver's license photo to sign a form saying that they may lose their license if they're later seen in public not wearing that head covering.
The woman on whose behalf CAIR is filing suit says this about the hijab. Sometimes you just walk out of the house without it. No big deal.
We want this to result in treating all citizens who come to the DMV for an ID or license equally. That there are no special forms, no special forms of treatment for anybody because of their religion.
In the Air Canada case, CAIR is sexualizing the hijab, even though she was showing men her hair in her passport photo.
Asking a Muslim woman to take off a hijab is much like asking any woman to take off her shirt.
But it's effectively like being naked. So imagine a woman locked up behind bars for hours, naked.
No, you can imagine that. The rest of us will take heart in knowing that there is no genre of pornography on the internet involving women removing their hijab for men to look at. There are plenty of things with them wearing a hijab, but apparently men wanting to peek under a hijab isn't a thing anywhere in the world. CAIR does not want one law for all people. They want religious exemptions for all kinds of things, including airport security. And CAIR will challenge authority no matter what the policy might be. That's the real message from the Council on American Islamic Relations.